things. All right. 8:22, the moment I have been nervous about since yesterday. Today is National Punctuation Day. And if you are like a lot of the youngins, a lot of the youngins don't use punctuation. They just write run-on sentences. And it drives me nuts. I'm sure it drives you nuts. The other thing is I was talking with our producer, Izzy, yesterday about this, that you find that a lot of people who text a lot, and here, Pam, you can get in my ear and tell me if this is the case too, and you can bring Mike up at this point. If you text a lot, do you find that you use, oh, look at that. Do you find that you use a lot of exclamation marks? And why? And I have a theory. Okay, so Pam says yes. Because my father, who is 95, saw one of my texts and he said, not that I just showed him. He can't figure out the whole text thing. Um, but I showed him and he said, why do you use so many exclamation marks? And he said, in my whole life, I've never used that many exclamation marks. And I have a theory. And the theory is when you send a message to somebody and you just put a period or no punctuation, you are worried in your mind they will take it to mean that you are being mean or unkind or unfriendly. And the exclamation mark is sort of like a smiley face. It's like,
Yes,
it's
true.
crazy, right?
Oh,
It's
it's true.
crazy. But if you say it's crazy, it sounds right. Am I wrong? So my theory is not off base.
I think you're absolutely right. And I always say I'm a big proponent of this that texts do not convey emotion. So no matter that's probably why you're using. I can't say how many times I got in trouble with my wife for sending a text. You go, wow, why would you say that? I'm like, no, I didn't mean it like that. I meant it like this.
Uh-huh.
And so it's probably the punctuation is required. See, punctuation does save lives. So like it just showed up and
I have
marriages.
right. My friends tell me that their kids never use the phone part of the phone. They only text.
Hmm.
And, adults, older adults, we tend to use the phone almost equally with texting. I mean, I know it's easy to just send a text and you don't have to stop and deal with the time, whatever. I get it. But, I think part of it is when you just do texting, you get into this, I better put punctuation so they know how I
Right.
feel mode,
Yeah.
right? So, anyway, it's National Punctuation Day. So there are all these, we just think of it as question mark, exclamation mark, period, comma. Of course, we also say exclamation point and question. Well, you don't say question point. You could say exclamation point or exclamation mark. Either one is correct, right? We have quotes, no, you have quotes, semi-quotes. When do you use a semi-quote?
I don't.
But there is a reason for it, right?
Right. There must be, sure.
So if you are writing, say you are quoting somebody, and in the quote, your their quote references a book. That's when you use a semiquote. So you have the quotation mark. So John said, comma, open quotes, I was going down the street when I stopped to buy the book The Years Gone By. Now, because you're putting a quote within a quote, that's when you use the single quote of the years gone by. And then you close quote with the double quote. Got
Hmm.
that?
Got it.
My master's is in Italian and Spanish, so I know how to do the quotes in those languages. I'm trying to translate it quickly into English right now, but you see to your left those
Yes.
those triangle type things. That's how they do quotes in Europe, right? That's what it looks like there. They tend to do that as opposed to the oh, we're supposed to guess them. Oh gosh. All right. So who you're gonna? So who goes here? Is it me or Mike? Tell me,
That's
Pam.
you should have the answer for this. I'm supposed to
Okay.
guess it.
So what do you think that is? Because that looks like a hybrid question mark
Question
exclamation
mark.
point.
So this would be, I guess, the shorthand of the text of putting the question mark exclamation point successively in a row. I guess they just combined it into one.
Yeah. And that's pretty much it. What do you think they called it? They gave it a funny name.
They gave it a
This is
name.
random. Yes.
No, oh, a question point.
See, you and I think the same. I would absolutely have said that or a question, an excla question. But no, and by the way, when do you think they came up with that? What year?
Oh, recently, maybe, I don't know, 1980s?
I would have said that. 1962. I don't know why they
Hmm.
would have come up with that in 1962. They call it the interrobang. I don't know. That's what that's why it didn't catch on. That's why we still just do question mark
That sounds like
exclamation.
what happens if you eat raw chicken, the enterobang.
I'll try it later and I'll let you know tomorrow. Uh, let's let's bring, let's bring the next one. Pam sec. Moving along, moving along. All right, let's see. So what do you think that looks like the Spanish question mark,
It
only that would
does,
be
just
upside
right
down.
side up. Right, right. So this is the one you have to guess.
I would say that that is a the reverse of a question mark. So I have the answer.
I have
And
the
we
answer. That
misspelled
is a
punctuation, by the way. Wait. We have punctuation misspelled. Pam will fix that. All right.
so
So
I
I
s-
would say
yeah.
that's
Okay.
that's the reverse. There we go. We'll change
The
it. So
reverse.
that's
Yes,
the
it's
reverse
a
question.
rhetorical question from the 1580s. I sort of, yeah, to
My.
imply that the author is asking a question that they don't know the answer to, kind of like, well, a rhetorical question.
Go figure. But that does make sense, but it really
Yeah,
didn't catch on. It really didn't catch on. Go there. We fixed the National Punctuation Day. Thank you.
there it is.
All right, so I have to ask you the next one here. Let's see. Pam's like, I'm looking, Ken. I'm looking. There it is.
Ooh,
All right. So what do you think that represents?
it almost looks
That looks like a
Arabic.
boob.
Arabic,
That
maybe?
no, it's not. So this is called irony, and it's from
Ah.
1841, Brussels, Belgium. It indicates a state of affairs that is the opposite of what the reader expects, meant to be humorous. I just
Well,
think
that's
it
not fair.
looks
You
like
were there in Brussels at the time.
I helped invent it, actually. Yes, in 1841. To me, this looks like a profile of a woman who needs a good bra. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
All right, Pam's like,
Next.
moving along. Oh, that has to be, let's see. That is an exclamama.
Exclamation comma. Yeah. But you're never going to guess where the origin is. It's from our friends up north in Canada from the
Oh,
90s.
Canada. Hey,
Yes. Yes. I don't
what
know.
year?
Looks like a typo. 92.
Okay. Okay. So that's,
Mhm.
but that was the interwebs were a new thing back then in 92.
Right.
Let's do
Kind of
one
does look
more
like a
each
hockey
if we
stick
can.
a little bit. A broken hockey
Yeah,
stick.
that you know what? That would make sense coming from Canada.
Mhm.
Let's do
Mhm.
this. Let's do this one. This is cute. Let's see if you could figure you could figure that one out.
Oh, do you love me or do you love me not? Question mark.
Yep, that is
Really?
exactly. Yeah, it's called a love point, and it's a
Huh.
formal way of a heart symbol meant to denote a sentence of affection. So that's exactly what that is. That could
Oh.
see that look today. That could work. But then again, we have emojis that kind of do that. So,
Yeah, yeah.
but
I feel like emojis
yeah,
took
that could
over.
work. You want
Hmm.
to have Mike give me one more, and then we're done with
Okay.
this lovely episode.
So this, see, I think I saw this and I went, oh, this is what happens when you can't assemble the piece of IKEA furniture and you have all of the expletives that follow. Wait, I'm supposed to put that screw in 5 steps ago?
It's like, why do I have two extra screws? Where did they go?
Exactly.
What did I forget?
Right. I have
And
to go all the way
this one
back to
looks just
IKEA
like
to
this
get more
one.
screws. Well, this is an acclamation about an enthusiastic demonstration of goodwill or honor. It was actually the written equivalent of the two flags on the front of the Pope's car
Oh,
from Paris,
interesting.
France.
Okay.
Yeah,
There you go. And Pam says that Pam, oh, we have a caller. We should bring up a caller right now.
we should.
Let's bring up the
Yeah.
caller and see what the caller says. Good morning. You're live on New Jersey Mornings.
Hi, how are you today, Ken? Is this me?
Good. Who is this?
Hi, this is Jeff from Livingston, and I'm enjoying your show. And you talk about grammar and punctuation, and I just wanted to go back to the boring old exclamation point, which you talked about
Sure.
a few minutes ago. And by the way, you have two master's degrees. Is that what you said?
Yes, I do. It's crazy. Well, it's no, not two. I have a master's in Italian and Spanish. It's 1 degree, but yes.
Well, that's impressive. But the exclamation point, in my experience, many, let's say, writers and experts and English professors don't like the exclamation point. Traditionally, maybe that's old-fashioned thinking because I'm kind of old. But I know one professor who would give his students in some writing class, they could use one exclamation point per semester. So what does your guest think about that, huh?
I love that. I think I mentioned, I don't know if you heard me say, my dad is 95, and he said in his whole life, he never used as many exclamation points as I used in one text to my mother. He said, I don't think. I've never used it my whole life, and it's just funny. It's a generational thing, I think, and a lot of it. Mike and I were saying that a lot of it, I think, has to do with you want to make sure you're not conveying a negative message to the person, so you put the exclamation mark like you would put a smiley face, just so that they know you're not being mean or you're not angry. But I get it. That makes a lot of sense. Hey, where you're calling from, Livingston?
Yes, sir, Livingston. Uh-huh.
Oh,
And
listen,
I catch
please
the show
promise me
some.
you're going to. I appreciate it. Please promise me you're going to call again. And by the way, call and bitch at us all you want too. You could yell at us. You don't have to just. But you're a very sweet man to give us a nice call, and that was fun. But if you hear something you don't like and you disagree with, direct it to Mike.
Okay, I will. In fact, I'll think up some mean stuff to say before I call next time. How about that?
I
All
appreciate
right.
it. You're a very nice man. Thank you
I,
so much for calling in today. Take care,
Thanks
Jeff.
for a
Bye
great job.
bye. Thank
Bye
you.
bye
I
now.
appreciate it.
Well, that
Wow,
was
that
a
was
nice
great.
call.
Perfect. Yes, it was a nice call. All right. Speaking of a nice call, we got to go to break here, or else I'm not going to get a nice call from our Pam.